Hey everyone, my name is Matheus, welcome back to the channel. And have you ever wondered, what if you could just send a message and have it organized in the right place for you? That's exactly what I built. I built a personal assistant that takes any message you sent, classifies it using AI, and saves it to Notion. It could be a task, a note, an inbox item, and you won't even have to worry about it. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how it works, walk you through the architecture, show you the code, and demonstrate it live. So let's get into it. The idea came from a real frustration. I had tasks scattered along different apps, ideas I'd forget before even writing down, and emails I'd forget to respond and would lose track of. So the solution wasn't another productivity app. It was automation. One single endpoint, you send a message, and the system handles the rest for you. So here's how the system works at a high level. The message comes in through the API, and before doing anything else, the system checks if something similar already exists. If it's new, it's sent to Gemini, which classifies it and also extracts a title, a content, and a priority level. Then this structured data is sent to Notion API. So there are three parts: the API layer, the classification layer, and also the storage layer. And now let's talk about the duplicate checking, because this is the rag part. So instead of using exact string matches, I'm going to use semantic similarity. The message gets converted into an embedding, which is a vector of numbers that represents its meaning. ChromaDB stores those vectors, and when a new message gets in, it finds the closest match. So call my boss tomorrow and need to call my boss in the morning. Different words, but the same meaning, and the system is going to catch that. So here's the API. This is the main endpoint. FastAPI is going to receive the message, is going to check if there's any duplicate. If there is, it's going to show what is it. If not, it's going to classify the message using Gemini, save it to Notion, save it to ChromaDB, and return the relevant data to frontend. And be aware here, if you take a look, here's the coarse middleware, which allows frontend to communicate and get data from the API. So here's where the AI happens. We send Gemini the message with a structured prompt and say we are going to need type, title, content, and priority as an output. And notice that we are using Pydantic to check if the output is correct. So we create a base model here, classification output with the type of the type of the title, the type of the content, and the type of the priority. And if anything goes wrong, the system stops immediately instead of propagating wrong data through all the pipeline. So here's the rag part. We will use sentence transformer to get the embedding, and then start a client for ChromaDB, start a collection called messages to store the messages. This first function, add to memory, just store the messages. We're going to store the ID, the embedding, the document, which is the text itself, and also an URL to Notion. The second function here, search similar, is going to check if the collection is empty. We return none, so no closest match. Then we get the embedding, and the result is going to be the closest match. If the closest match is none, we return none. Here we are going to define the similarity. I put a limit of 50% because when I was testing it seemed good. And if the similarity is above what we defined as the limit, we're going to return. And we return the text, and we return the URL to Notion. This is a standard REST API integration. So we just map the right tables to the right IDs that we need to save. This is the standard payload schema for Notion API. And one thing that's worth mentioning is to always ping the Notion version or any external API, because the version can change and you don't want your application to break, okay? And finally, this is the front end. So here's the handle submit part, which is going to fetch for our API. If that's any error, it's going to display the error. If not, we're going to store the result. Here's just some standard front end. Here's the important part. If there is any duplicate, it's going to display the duplicate, and if it's not, there is going to display that message is stored and sent to Notion, and we're always going to make available the Notion URL so you can check it yourself. Alright, let me show you it working live. So let me send a task here. For example, Send documents to client until next week. So I'm gonna send. Okay, saved as a task. Send documents to client, priority medium, because we have a good schedule until there. So let's check in Notion. Send documents to client. Here in my table, send documents to client. And if then I try to send something similar, so until next Monday, for example, which is the same thing. If I try to send it, already exists, similar item found. And if I try to view Notion, yep, exactly the same item. So this is Reg working in practice. So this is the personal assistant, FastAPI, Gemini, ChromaDB, React. Every piece has a reason to be there. The code is fully open source, so feel free to clone it, use it, improve it, and if you have any questions on any part of it, drop in the comments and I'll answer it. Feel free to subscribe if you think it was helpful. I'll try to bring more projects like this soon and document it all with you. So see you in the next videos.